Well, hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Terri Cole Show. I want to talk a little bit about something that happened for me during the pandemic and lockdown, and then introduce you to a very special guest who helped me through that period of time. So, I have always been a gym person. That's been my workout, mainly Zumba and weight classes. And so obviously we all know in the beginning of the pandemic, they said it was only going to be a few weeks and then it was going to be, we kept thinking it was going to end. Obviously it's 2 years later, it still hasn't ended. But it took me a long time to accept that I needed to find a way to continue to move my body, but to do it at home. And I found that very hard to stay motivated. What I loved about the gym is that I had like my gym friends and I could go and meet up with them and say hello. And even though I really didn't socialize with any of my gym friends outside of the gym, there was a social aspect to going there. So my sister and I were thinking, what could we do? My sister doesn't live that far from me. And I just hated working out at home so much. And then we started really looking on the internet and seeing like who is actually out there and what are they doing. And I remembered that I really liked a rebounder. I had one, but it was kind of old. And I got it out and I was like, let me see. That's like a mini trampoline if you don't know what it is. And then I started looking for people who teach this. And I ended up coming upon Michelle Briehler. And she has an amazing YouTube channel. And my sister and I just started getting really into it. And then it wasn't just her workouts are everything. You can find a 10-minute amazing core workout, stretching stuff. She does PiYo, really introduced me to PiYo, which is like Pilates and yoga mixed. So basically, I'd say for sure for the last year, my sister and I have been doing Michelle's workouts almost every single day. There's another Pilates person that I do as well, but I would say probably at least 4 times a week, I'm doing a workout for Michelle. And so I wanted to interview Michelle on the show and share her brilliance with you because maybe you're like me and maybe you're in the same situation of if you were a gym person, maybe you didn't make the transition to being a home workout person. And I invite you to check out Michelle's channel. Everything that you need to do that will be in the show notes. Her name is spelled Michelle, and it's Briehler, Briehler. So you can find that on YouTube. And of course, again, show notes are going to have everything that you need. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Michelle herself. She's a certified trainer, fitness professional, health and life coach. So she's a motivator, a leader, a presenter. And her goal is really to empower you to create lasting change so that you feel your best. What I love about her workouts is that there's minimal equipment, right? You can do all of her workouts not on a trampoline. And then she has all of these PiYo and weight classes and other things that if you don't want to do the trampoline, you don't have to. But what I want to say about the trampoline for me is that Zumba was really starting to hurt my knees. And I do not have that experience at all anymore. And my sister and I both are in the best shape of our lives now, core-wise. And as you age, it's really important that you are strengthening your core. So Michelle just has this way of motivating. She is so good at what she does. She has over 20 years experience. She's helped thousands of women get into shape, lose weight, feel better about themselves. She also creates individual coaching plans if you're looking for someone to really walk you through that process. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy my interview with Michelle as much as I loved interviewing my YouTube workout leader. Enjoy the show. I'm so excited to welcome Michelle to the show as I was just singing your praises beyond. Hi, Michelle. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here with you, Terri.
Here's the thing that is so funny is that I super feel like I already know you because you have been such a constant part of me surviving the pandemic, and I told my whole story at the top of this episode of what it was and how I never thought that the working out at home was going to work for me. I kept, they kept telling us, like, soon you're going to be able to go back to the gym. And then that never happened. And I'm in such better physical shape, even though I was a gym rat for years, probably than I've ever been. And I really do credit it to you. So thank you, Michelle.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's just like, whoo, that makes me feel so good, because my intentions putting this content out there was just to stay connected, because our gym, my husband and I, we owned a large health club, and we were shut down during the pandemic. And I was like, oh, this sucks. I need to do something. And prior to this, I had been doing a little bit, like when we had a snow day, I'd go live on Facebook. And then for some reason, prior to pandemic, I was just uploading a little bit on YouTube, because I was like, hey, if people can't make it to my workouts, I want to give them access to this. So this is really my intention, was for the people in our health club to just have that connection. And then it just kind of just started rolling from there.
Right.
And it's then one time, one lady asked, hey, maybe we should maybe you can do a workout. And I was like, oh, I have a big driveway. Why don't we go on the driveway?
Yep. It's so interesting, because when you said staying connected, that was so much of my experience, is that it was so lonely. The thing I missed so much about not being able to go to my gym, and I was a big Zumba person prior to getting a trampoline. And what I love about your workouts is that you don't have to have a trampoline. You can do plyo. There's so many things that you do, especially core. That's where I really noticed this massive change in my posture and in how strong I am, but how secure I felt. But another thing is that I always loved the ones where you're with your posse on your on your driveway or in the gym or wherever you are, because there's a community aspect of hitting play. And the fact that it was all on YouTube, there is such a huge variety that you offer, but there's more than that. So I want to get to your backstory a little bit. What inspired you to become an instructor? You're a certified health and life coach as well. So what inspired this journey for you personally?
So when I was young in high school, I was very athletic. I had a back issue. Tried everything, to the chiropractor, went to this guy, this really guru-y kind of guy. So I live in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota on a farm. And somebody told my mom, at the time she owned a flower house, about this guy. And she's like, you got to go to this guy. He's amazing. He's this massage therapist. So we traveled 100 miles. And if you're from a small town, you know what that's like. You do it no matter what. And I went to see this guy. He put me in a little sauna where your head comes out. And I was, 16, 17 at the time, from a farm. I was like, this is all weird stuff. And he talks about like all these massage oils and all this new age stuff that I had no clue about. And then he starts giving me a massage, which was kind of, that was a little bit, I was very uncomfortable. But it was the only thing that helped me. And that led me down this path of, I want to do this. I want to do something to help people. So my first real job, I don't know if it's really real, was a massage therapist. I left college, went to massage school, got certified down in Virginia Beach at a very holistic school. And it was just a lot of new age stuff. It was just really, I remember this lady said, we're going to go to a party here and it's going to be a potpourri of people. And I was like, potpourri of people? She was like, there's going to be energy workers and reflex, all these different things I had never heard of. Mm-hmm. But I embraced it. I took it all in. So massage became, a passion. I loved it. I was going to say I was amazing at it, because I always give 110% in it, but it wasn't fulfilling me enough. And then I was still trying to find my path, and I was in a health club working, and then somebody said, oh, you should go check out this one place. They have an amazing fitness facility. So I went there. I fell in love with it. Then I ended up marrying the guy that owned it. I became an instructor. I was doing massage, took out the massage, became instructor, personal trainer. It was just like an easy flow.
Right. into this process. And so you've been married for a while. You have kids, right?
Yes. 2 boys. They're 15 and 12.
Got it. I sometimes see them in your videos, depending on where you are doing your videos. All right. So where you are sort of right now, your back issue that you had when you were younger, so that never came back? Are you done with the back issue?
Oh, no, I still have ongoing, so for me, that's why I talk a lot in the videos. I just say, honor your body, because I know what it's like. And I was very abusive to my body when I was younger. And I hear it from so many women. And this is why I want to empower women, is that we don't have to beat ourselves up all the time. Like, I remember doing 2-3 hours of exercise, thinking that was so good for me. And now down the road, who would ever predict it? I'm struggling a little bit with my back. I definitely have to spend a lot of time every night. I have a ritual where I stretch. So I just have to do it. That's why I tell women all the time, like, yes, it's great you did 2 workouts, but did you really need to? Maybe you could have spent some time doing something else to get back to your body.
Right. And I love that you have stretching videos, and you also have a 10-minute core, or if you need to do abs, like everything that you share on your YouTube channel, my experience is that it's so user friendly that wherever anyone is on their journey, because what I found, and I wonder if this is other people too. I mean, listen, I'm in my 50s, and even though I was doing a lot of Zumba and other things, lifting weights and whatever, prior to this, my knees were really hurting me. And the thing that I noticed that was so profound in the quality of my life is that starting to do trampoline workouts, rebounding, mini trampoline, whatever we call it, that my knees suddenly were not killing me. And I was like, and I had read a lot about the benefit of, moving the lymph system. And there's all of these great things about jumping and doing the joyful jump, as you call it, in the end, right? So we're slowing it down. But something that was actually real for me, that my pain in my knees, and how my knees used to swell a lot. I would notice, I'm like, that doesn't look cool, and it doesn't feel good. I would feel it when I'm walking down the steps. And from starting this, because really I've been posting about your stuff, and this is kind of how I was commenting, and this is kind of how you and I got together. I mean, for the past, I would say at least the past year. And I would do videos of me jumping on the trampoline, and then I would speed it up and, post it, and people are like, oh my God, what are you doing? But it's something that is super fun and joyful. And yet I feel like I can probably do it for the rest of my life, because you always say in the videos, and the way that you teach it is do it to whatever level. You can make it more intense. You can make it slightly lighter, so it's not so intense. But the benefits that I see is that I can do it forever. So I'm why I wanted you to come on the show, and why I wanted to share what I think is your dharma, right? Your brilliance is that so much of the time, and a lot of times it's women or men in my community that just don't know where to start. They just feel like, the pandemic, I was overwhelmed. I had kids at home. I was home teaching. I was doing all these things. I don't know where to start. And knowing that you are a certified life coach and a health coach is so helpful. And for anyone who's listening, go to Michelle's YouTube channel. I'll have all the information that you need. Subscribe and just get committed to finding something that makes sense for you. You don't have to go out and buy a mini trampoline right now, although I think you're going to want to once you start watching. But you can start with the PIO. You can start on the mat. You can start slow. It doesn't have to be fast, but there is hope. And no matter where you are in your journey, you can start right here, right now. And I hope that you use Michelle as a resource to do that. Because even though I was someone who was in shape, I felt this renewed inspiration from working out with you. And I was telling you this when we first connected, that my sister Kathy and I, we live about a half an hour apart. And she's someone who always keeps me motivated to continue to move my butt even when I don't want to. And then once we found you, every day it was like, MB, what are you doing? Which one? And we would like send shots to each other of what we were doing. And she's like, you should add this 10-minute thing on the end. But it made it so much more fun, of course, to do it with someone else. But I've done a lot of working out in my life. You know, Michelle, there's tons of people out there, which we all know, and so much online stuff. You know, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention, where, we were locked down. And again, you created this broad sort of reach really out of the pandemic because your place was shut down because people were inside. And then I imagine you're seeing that there is a desire for what you're doing. So what has your experience been with people on your YouTube channel? What are people saying?
What I love about YouTube is the reach. People from all over the world. Amazing. Just the love and the appreciation and the gratitude. That's the stuff that just keeps me going, to read, because if I'm having a tough moment in my day, I'll go and I'll read some of the comments from YouTube and they just uplift me. And I love it when people say things like you said, how I'm so much stronger, Michelle, from doing your workouts. To me, that is like, yes, yay. That's, those are great wins for me. Those are, again, that keep me pushing forward. Right. I love it. I love that I can tap into people that I never thought I could, but also plant little seeds to empower them beyond the workout.
Well, what I'm seeing, you're doing it successfully though, Michelle, because what I'm seeing in my own experience is that I started and, a short video, I was tired. I was out of breath. And now my mindset has changed so much where if I don't get that really good workout in, I don't feel as good as I do when I do get it in, when I'm really sweating, when I'm really stretching, when I've done something. And another thing that really blew my mind, because where I live, I also live in the middle of friggin' nowhere. And so my gym was 22 miles one way from my house. So you're talking about before you even work out, you're in the car for about an hour. So, and then if I shower there, it was like 2.5, 3 hours of my day. And what I'm realizing is that I'm getting such a better workout, working out with you for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on which one I choose, or 20 minutes on the days I don't even have 30 minutes, that I'm in superior shape. I'm not, polluting the world by using all this gas. It's really so mind blowing. And what I think a lot of us are finding, and I've been asking a lot of clients and friends, like, what are you keeping from the pandemic, right? Like, it's still happening, obviously, but, it's become more normalized. But I never would have guessed 2 years ago if you had said, you're going to start working out exclusively at home. I would have been like, are you nuts? Never am I working out exclusively at home. I cannot motivate myself to do that. I never felt like I had the discipline. And yet, even though my gym has been open for the past 6 months, I think I've gone twice because, again, the time that I save in just committing to doing something with you. And then there's another woman that I like who does Pilates. So I have mostly you, and then I do her on the weekends. It's like that commitment is so much easier to do than committing 2.5 hours of my day and not getting a better workout. Does that make sense?
Well, for sure. I just had a message from somebody through Instagram, and she said, I used to be such, like you said, a gym rat. Like, I would go to the gym every single day. She goes, since I found you, I do not belong to the gym anymore. You fulfill every part of it. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
And I too, never thought that my only workouts would be from here. I mean, I only do all my workouts either in my house when we are, we can't get together right now, or out on the driveway. So yeah.
What I appreciate though about the way that you mix it up, because that's why I didn't have to go looking for like 17 other people, because you don't just do one thing. I love that you incorporate weights because I need that weight bearing, especially because I'm not 25, that it's important. I love that you incorporate the PIO stuff, which tell us a little bit about what actually is PIO, because I don't think I could do it justice.
Well, I hope I do it justice. It is a body weight workout that incorporates all aspects of fitness. So you have body weight strength training, you got cardiovascular, you've got yoga, you have balance. I mean, all these things that we all want. And we're all like, I never have time to do yoga. I never have time to stretch, all in one workout. It's my favorite workout. And that's been my claim to fame, I think, on YouTube, has been the PIO. And when the pandemic was, when we were all in lockdown, I started doing it live. And that was, my big connection to people was, and let me tell you what, it was messy a few times. But I always remember, because Charlene Johnson, she was the creator of PIO, and I follow her, and she always said, you fail when you don't try. Because I was like, I need to do something more with myself. And I always thought, well, what can I do to start generating income? And I was like, well, I just got to try. And if it fails, you know what? I learn and I pick myself up and I try something else.
But I really was introduced to PIO from you on YouTube. And
wow.
I love that as an addition. So, because here's the thing, it could get, you can't do this for me. I can't do the same thing every day because then I'll be bored out of my skull, but you never have to. So I just wanted to have you on, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for helping my sister and I survive the pandemic and beyond. And you guys, you know why I did this show. You understand that I want you to be healthy. It's possible, even if you're in a terrible place right now. But it's possible. So if you're not following Michelle, follow her. If you are not familiar with her YouTube channel, I hope that I've introduced you to it. Subscribe and go and even just watch. Before I started actually working out with you, Michelle, I actually started just watching and seeing the way that you were, because I have to like the instructor. It's so weird. I need to like your voice. I need to like the way that you do it, what you talk about, the way that you count or don't count, all of those things, not to be like super specific, but it matters because there are so many people out there. So I so appreciate you giving all of this free content on YouTube. You saved me and Kathy during the pandemic, and you continue to. So you guys, this is Michelle. You know where to find her. I have everything in the show notes. And Michelle, why don't you tell us right now, just verbally tell us, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me, like Terri said, on YouTube. You can look me up, Michelle Briehler, look up PIO. I think I'm #1 on the PIO, or even trampoline if you want to be jumping with me. What a fun workout. And MichelleBriehler.com. That's where you can find all information. All my links are right there.
Right on. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I super appreciate your brilliance.
Thank you.
And thank you for spending time with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.